Good morning, fourth grade. Okay, today I'm going to read to you pages 112 through 114, and when I'm finished, you could read page 115 and 116 on your own. You can also fill out the form. Please make sure that you're reading the pages on your own and that you're not just clicking the questions, okay? We can see who's doing that, and you're not benefiting yourself as a learner, okay? All right, I'm going to get started today. Listening ears, here we go. Anyway, nothing terrible happened to him, I said. How can you be so sure, Peter? Sheila asked. Because I live here, remember? Maybe it happened while you weren't home, Sheila said. You have to think like a detective. Trust me, Sheila, I know what I'm talking about. A truly trustworthy person never has to say, trust me, Sheila said. Isn't that right, Uncle Feather? Uncle Feather sneezed. Richie Porter came over for a play date and offered Uncle Feather money to talk. $5 if you say my name. Hold up the $5 bill for Uncle Feather to see. You're bribing Fudge's bird, I asked. What do you think Uncle Feather would do with $5? I don't know, Richie said. Well, think about it. I guess he doesn't get to go shopping. Richie folded the bill until it was too small to practically disappear. Then he stuck it back in his pocket. If you want to bribe him, try his favorite fruit, I said. He loves pears. Richie and Fudge dashed off to the kitchen. Melissa says, Mom says her acupuncturist can fix anything. Her what? Fudge asked. Acupuncturist, Melissa said. It's some kind of doctor. He sticks needles in you when you get better. Nobody's sticking needles in Uncle Feather, Fudge said. Buzzy said, tough love, that's the answer. Don't let him push you around, Fudge. Let him know who's boss. Grandma laughed and said, really, Buzzy? Uncle Feather's not a teenager. He's a bird. Jimmy said, my parents got divorced because my father never talked to my mother. That's the first detail Jimmy's dropped about his parents' divorce. Uncle Feather's not married, I reminded him. Maybe that's his problem, Jimmy said. Maybe he wants a mate. I looked at Jimmy, waiting for more, but he just shrugged and said, it's a possibility. That night I studied the Mynah Bird Handbook. I found out that if you have two mynahs, they don't relate to other humans in the same way. They relate to each other instead. So forget about another bird. Fudge told everyone who would listen about Uncle Feather. In the elevator, he told Mrs. Chen, who's visiting her family from China. She speaks only 3 words in English. Okay, and no problem. But she listened to Fudge as if she understood exactly what he was saying. Then she nodded and said, no problem. In the lobby, he told Olivia Oysterman, I once had a mynah bird, she said. My birds could say, I love you, Livy, I love you so much. Where's your bird now? Fudge asked, speaking up so Mrs. Osterman could hear him. Oh, he's been dead for years. Mrs. Osterman said, Birds don't live as long as people, and most people don't live as long as me. I'm going to celebrate my 90th birthday soon. What do you think of that? I think that makes you a lot older than me. Good thinking, Mrs. Osterman told Fudge. I'm a very good thinker, Fudge said. And sometimes I am too, she said, snapping her fingers, because I just got an idea about your bird's problem. Maybe he's lost his hearing, like me. But you still can talk, Fudge said. Yes, but I wear hearing aids. If your bird can't hear what you're saying, he might not talk back to you. I said, that's the first real idea anybody's had about Uncle Feather, why Uncle Feather stopped talking. That night, after Tootsie went to sleep, we gathered in Fudge's room to find out if Mrs. Osterman was right. While the rest of us sat on his bed, Dad tiptoed across the room and slammed Fudge's door. Uncle Feather heard it all right. All right, guys, read page 115, 116, fill out the form, and please make sure you're always trying your best. Bye.